Okay, I started, I think.
Awesome. Introduce yourself, tell me your name, your age, um, where you're from, and the name of your team.
My name is Jessie Marook. My age is 21. I was born June 12th, 1993. I'm from small town International Falls, Minnesota on the border, and my cheer team is Bemidji State University.
Awesome. Okay, let's kind of go right into what your cheer background is. Like, what's the deal? Like, what have you been cheering all your life? Are you kind of new to it? What's your cheer background?
Well, I was a dancer since I was 12, and since being in a small town, there's not like very many opportunities of being on sports teams. My first year of college, actually, I tried out for cheer, and I made the team since I had prior dance experience. And then I transferred to Bemidji State, and I was on the dance team. And then I just thought that trying out for cheer again would be a great opportunity since I loved it so much before in the past.
Got it. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about just like your personality. Like, how would your friends describe you?
I'm really outgoing. I would say I speak loudly in the group. I'm the go-getter. I'm usually the one that thinks up the ideas of things that we should be doing, like making the plans, things like that.
Got it. Okay. In your email, you talked about the team and you kind of described it as like the hick version of the Bring It On, first Bring It On movie. Tell me that in a full sentence and explain why.
Bemidji State cheer team is exactly like Bring It On in the beginning because nobody in our university takes us seriously. They just look at us as the partiers, like, oh, you be on the cheer team, you're a slut. Um, we don't have funding at all to compete. We just cheer at the games to cause awareness for like, hey, we're cheering for our team. Um, we can't stunt very well. Our dances are just repeats of like the same 8 counts. That's just pretty much how it is.
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit more about kind of like, I guess, the coaches, and some of the personalities in the team. Let's start with the coaches. Like,
Oh,
what's the deal with the coaches, and how are they helping or not helping you guys?
since this is my first year, I'm not really positive how the coaches interact with the team. From what I've heard, um, our head coach, her name's Glory. She was a former cheerleader in the past, so she's just continuing on her legacy of being a cheerleader. And then we have another girl who teaches the figure skating portion of the cheer team. So she never, I don't believe, was a cheerleader growing up in high school because we went to the same high school. And as far as stunting goes, I'm not really sure. I think we just YouTube things and then try them out.
Got it, got it. Okay. Now, tell me a little bit about some of your teammates. Um, let's start with Bailey.
Bailey, we call her Bailey Logic because we can say the most outrageous things that are not true and she'll believe us. She has the most bubbliest personality. She she has been a dancer her whole life too and decided to try out for cheer. So when the dance portions come around, they look to Bailey for guidance. um, Everything she does, she just brings a smile to everybody's face. She is also a cancer survivor, so she gets interviewed a lot for that and like how she made it through that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Um, tell me about Alyssa. What's her story?
Alyssa's story, well, I just met her recently this past semester, and I know that she's had a lot of medical issues. She currently is in the Mayo Clinic for diabetes and tumors in her liver, and she's also the captain of our team. When I first met her, I was like, okay, this girl's gonna be a serious bitch. Because she's blonde, she's perfect, she seriously looks like a princess. She lives up to her name. But she is the nicest girl I've ever met in my life. Like, she really, like, from my perspective, looking at the team from the outside, she really does hold the team together. And she's,
That's awesome.
yeah, she's a positive influence. When little girls probably see her at the game, like they recognize her because she like goes out of her way to meet them.
That's super cool. Now, Jade. Talk about Jade.
Okay, so Jade, she she's something else. When I first transferred to Bemidji State, she added me within like the first day of classes. I had no idea who she was, and I was like, how do people already know me? I went to 3 classes today. How do people know my name? So I didn't add her, and then the next week she re-added me twice, and I was just like, okay, who is this creep? Like, I'm not adding her. And then I heard she was going to cheer tryouts. I was like, oh my god, that's my stalker. I bet she knew I was trying out, and she's stalking me. Somehow she got my Snapchat name when we didn't have each other's number. She followed me on Twitter. But when she sees me in public, she, like, won't look at me. So, also
That
she...
is weird.
She... I know, right? She,
Uh-huh.
she's the downfall on our team when, like, we can't really rely on her. We know that if somebody's going to cancel, it's going to be her. We've had a lot of events this summer that we had to volunteer at or to, like, fundraise for money for our uniforms and everything for the fall. And she's canceled every time. She's not reliable at all. So she's not reliable and she's a stalker.
What do you think? That brings me to a good point about kind of like the team as a whole. Like, do you find that, like, is it cliquish? Does everyone get along? Like, is everyone together, working together towards a common goal? Tell me about, like, what the dynamics of the team are.
The dynamics of the team are, well, when, for example, when we were at tryouts, Rebecca and I, she's the one who was the hockey player that has never cheated in her life. I was kind of just there to, like, expand her horizons because I was like, hey, you should try something, like, just try cheer, I know you'll like it. The older girls that were on the cheer team weren't very, like, they were teaching us the things, but they weren't like, how are you, like, how do you feel about tryouts? How's it going? And then I would say there were a lot of cliques, yeah, but Alyssa didn't make it that way. She's the captain. She didn't make me feel like there were cliques or anything, but outside of cheer, there definitely is.
Okay. Now, I was watching your videos. Now, I thought it was kind of cool that you guys did some cheering on ice. Is that, like, typical?
Well, currently this year, they have the new football cheer team, which half the girls on that are on the hockey cheer team, and that's all they've had at BSU is hockey cheer. And hockey cheer is where they'll do routines on the ice, but then they cheer in the crowds too.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing both, or?
Some of us do both, some of us don't.
Okay, what do you do? Do you do both, or?
I do football cheer, and Rebecca, the hockey player, she's gonna try both of them.
Got it. Okay. So you do hockey cheer.
Yeah.
So hockey cheer, you're not always on ice, are you?
No, at the beginning of the game they come out, and when they're introducing the players, they do little cute things. During the game they cheer in the stands and do some dances, and then that's pretty much it. At halftime they do a little dance too.
Got it. Okay. So tell me, let's break it down real talk. What is wrong with the team? Why would you need our help? What needs to be changed desperately?
For the past couple of years, all I've heard from people is, why would you try out for the cheer team at Bemidji State? Like, they're all sluts, all they do is party, that's the only reputation they've gotten. Our team's so ghetto, and there's some girls on the team that cheers their entire life. Their parents have spent thousands of dollars investing in their whole high school careers being on cheer teams. One girl at tryouts, she brought like 4 letters of recommendation to make the cheer team. I was like, do you realize this is Bemidji State? I know that there's tons of girls, like over half the girls on our team would feel the same way. Like, we want to be pushed. Competing would be awesome, especially since we don't have a lot of resources. We're from Bemidji, Minnesota, population like maybe 7,000. We do like car washes to raise money. We try to teach little girls how to cheer, but they don't come. We try to work concession stands, like that's all we have. As for stunting, our coach, we just YouTube things, I'm assuming, try them out, see how it goes. Where we cheer is in the lobby of our building where the basketball court is, and it's like people walk through, people come out of practice, people walk through from coming from class to go to their dorms, like it's like a public place and it's really awkward. Our uniforms, we have to almost pay all of it ourselves despite what fundraising we're making. The school doesn't fund us really.
Right, so you're not getting any support from the school financially, but let's talk about kind of like the level of commitment from the girls. Like, you talked in your email about how half of them are, you know, think drinking is a sport. Like, it just seems like there's different motivations and feelings about where you guys want the team to go.
Right. Well, I know, like I mentioned earlier, half the girls cheerleading's been their whole life. Some of the girls are just doing it for extracurriculars. My friend Rebecca, she doesn't even know why she's doing it. She's like, I'm a hockey player, I don't know what I'm doing. Jade, and then there's those girls that do it because they want to fit in and they want to be part of something. So the commitment issue, like I said, Jade is one of them that just not reliable. I'm not sure how things are going to go because we're over half of us are a new team being thrown together. I do know from the past that like girls would show up hungover, girls wouldn't even show up for practice. A lot of girls who were supposed to be on the team didn't even show up for tryouts because they weren't reliable, and then they got kicked off. So
oh my God.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is kind of like just the biggest conflict and drama going on the team right now?
Conflict, if I could, I would probably deck Jade in the face. More, you giggle at me. I wouldn't say that there's a lot of conflict currently. I do know that, not drama-wise, there's like the health issues with our captain. There's potential people gonna quit just because nobody really they don't care about our team. It's just like, oh, this is for fun. Like, I feel like if somebody came in and tried to whip our butts into shape and said, no, you guys are gonna compete, this is what we're gonna do, we'd actually feel like we were a part of something. Because we're such a small town that nobody notices us, nobody cares.
Okay, so if you, I guess if you were the coach, like, what kind of things would you choose to address? Like, what's the top 3 things that need to happen to actually get you guys competition ready, in your opinion?
What I would address is, if you miss a practice, you're going to run like 6 miles because you don't miss a practice, because that's how important it is. If you want to be on a team, you have to stay committed. Fundraisers, I would make sure that everybody's there, because our fundraisers, nobody shows up. I, for one, haven't showed up because I work like 40 hours a week, so I would say that I'm probably like having a little bit of commitment issues as well. I would maybe sign a contract saying like, listen here, this is what you're getting yourself into. If you don't like it, then you're gone.
Got it. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Let's stop recording.